All right, let's get right into it. We often think of a difficult past as something that just leaves scars. But what if it also builds something? What if it actually forges a unique and incredibly powerful way of seeing the world? Like a kind of mental architecture designed specifically for survival. This really gets to the very heart of what we're talking about today. The whole idea of a survivor's brain isn't about being damaged. It's about being adapted. It's about developing the set of highly tuned skills that let you navigate situations that other people might find totally overwhelming. It's a constructive thing, not just a destructive one.
So that's the big question, right? What are these special traits? What is this highly adapted brain seeing that so many of us might miss? Let's break it down, one trait at a time.
Okay, first up is a trait you could almost call an emotional superpower. Seriously, it's this incredibly sharp sensitivity to the world around you, almost like a sixth sense for what people are feeling. I mean, think about it. If you grow up in an unpredictable environment, you learn to read the signs fast. A tiny shift in someone's tone of voice, a little flicker in their eyes, even just the tension in a room, all of that becomes vital information. This isn't magic. It's a highly developed survival tool. It's like an early warning system that is just always on. But here's the flip side of that. On one hand, this radar gives you this incredible emotional intelligence. You have a powerful and often spot-on intuition about people. But on the other hand, having that radar switched on 24/7 is absolutely exhausting. It can lead to constant hypervigilance, where you're always scanning for danger, even when there's none there. It's a brilliant skill for sure, but it comes at a real cost. And that leads us right into our next trait, which builds directly on the first one. See, it's one thing to sense the emotions in a room, but it's a whole other thing to feel the weight of them. And that's what we're calling the empathetic burden. This isn't just about being a really nice person. It's a learned strategy. If you grew up where a parent's mood could change your whole world in an instant, you get really good at managing that mood. You become the peacemaker, the little diplomat, always trying to keep things calm. You learned that managing their feelings was how you created safety for yourself. And this breaks down that internal process perfectly. It happens in a split second. First, you sense some discomfort. Your radar goes off. Immediately, you jump to step 2, and you assume it's your responsibility. I have to fix this. Then you go into fix-it mode, trying to smooth things over. And finally, you internalize the outcome. Your own sense of peace becomes completely tied to how they are feeling. If they're okay, you're okay. If they're not, you're not. So here's the thing. This instinct makes you a deeply caring person, a natural peacemaker. People probably love having you around because you're so in tune with them. But the challenge? It's a fast track to complete burnout. I mean, when you're constantly managing everyone else's feelings, who's taking care of yours? It almost always leads to neglecting your own needs.
Which brings us to our third trait. And at first, this might seem like a total contradiction to the last one, but it's actually deeply, deeply connected. It's this profound, almost defensive kind of independence.
When the people you're supposed to be able to count on aren't safe or predictable, you learn a lesson really fast. The only person you can truly rely on is yourself. This has nothing to do with being antisocial or arrogant. It's just a logical adaptation. Relying on other people felt like a risk you couldn't afford to take, so you built a fortress of self-reliance to keep yourself safe. And here is the huge paradox of it all. This skill makes you unbelievably resourceful. You can handle a crisis. You can navigate huge challenges all by yourself. You're strong. You're capable. But that exact same strength can make it feel almost impossible to ask for help. It can feel like you're failing. And that fortress, the one you built to protect yourself, can end up becoming a really lonely prison. All right, on to our final trait, and this one really ties so much of this together. It's this powerful duality that can define how a survivor relates to the world. We call it the empathy paradox. Think of it this way. You become a safe harbor for absolutely everyone else. Your friends, your family, they all come to you with their problems because you listen, you get it, you genuinely feel for them. But your own ship? It stays hidden, way out at sea. Your pain is kept under lock and key because you learned a long time ago that showing vulnerability was dangerous, that your own needs were a burden. So you're seen as this amazing friend, this incredible confidant. You help create these really deep connections for other people. But the challenge here is just devastating. You can be surrounded by people who love you and still feel fundamentally completely unseen, because the real you, the one that hurts and struggles, is never allowed out. And all it does is reinforce that old survival belief: my pain is a burden. So we've got the emotional radar, the empathetic burden, the fortress of self, and the empathy paradox. These aren't just four random issues. They're all part of the same architectural design. So let's pull it all together and reframe this blueprint, not as a collection of flaws, but as a foundation for some incredible strengths. Just look at how this changes everything. That emotional radar born from needing to anticipate danger is now your high emotional intelligence. The empathetic burden you took on to create stability, that's now your deep capacity for care. The fortress of self you had to build just to survive, that's now your radical self-reliance. And the empathy paradox, your strategy for staying safe, that has become a powerful gift for creating safety for others. And this, right here, is the most important takeaway of all. If any of this is resonating with you, please, please hear this. These are not flaws. They aren't things that are wrong with you. They are sophisticated, highly adaptive skills that you developed to survive. They are a testament to your resilience. So we'll end with this question. That architecture was designed for a war zone, but you might not be there anymore. The challenge, and really the opportunity, is to take these incredible, hard-won skills, your intuition, your empathy, your strength, and consciously choose how to use them, not just to survive anymore, but to truly build a life.